There is a voice that speaks loudest when the world finally goes quiet. It isn't a sound from outside your window, but one that echoes from a place deep within. All day, the noise of life can almost drown it out. The meetings, the errands, the conversations. But here, in the stillness of your room, under the soft weight of your blanket, it rises. It is the voice of the critic, the judge, the relentless scorekeeper of your every perceived failing. And you are so tired of listening to it. What if, just for tonight, you didn't have to? What would it feel like to lay your head down on your pillow and be met not with a list of your shortcomings, but with a deep, quiet, unconditional peace? Imagine an inner landscape where the only sound is the gentle rhythm of your own breath, where the feeling is one of safety, of acceptance, of coming home to yourself. This journey we're beginning is an invitation into that space, not a promise of perfection, but a gentle turning toward kindness, a practice of letting go, an exploration of what it means to befriend the person you have been all along. It's a journey toward waking up in the morning and meeting your own eyes in the mirror with a sense of softness rather than a sigh of resignation. It is possible. And it begins here, now, with one simple breath. So let's begin there. Just notice your breathing without any need to change it. Feel the air as it enters your body, cool and quiet, and feel it as it leaves, slightly warmer, carrying with it the tensions of the day. There is nothing to achieve with this breath, nothing to get right. It is simply an anchor to this present moment, here in this bed, in this room. You can feel the surface beneath you, holding you completely. The mattress, the sheets, the pillow cradling your head. There is no effort required on your part to be held. You are already supported. Gravity is doing its work, a silent, steady force, inviting you to release, to let go, to sink just a little deeper into rest. Let your body feel that support. Notice the points of contact between you and the bed. Your heels, your calves, the backs of your thighs, your lower back, your shoulders, the back of your head. In each of these places, there is a gentle pressure, a reminder that you are here, you are safe, and you are being held. You don't have to hold yourself together anymore tonight. The voice of self-criticism often lives in the body as tension. It's a physical state as much as a mental one. It's the slight clenching in your jaw, even when you think you are relaxed. It's the subtle raising of your shoulders toward your ears, as if bracing for a blow. It's the tightness in your stomach, a knot of worry and self-doubt. You don't need to fight this tension. Tonight, we will just notice it. With a gentle curiosity, let your awareness travel to your jaw. Is there any tightness there? Without forcing anything, just invite it to soften. Imagine the muscles letting go, creating a little space between your top and bottom teeth. You can allow your tongue to rest gently in the bottom of your mouth. A simple, small release that sends a signal of safety throughout your nervous system. Now, bring that same gentle awareness to your shoulders. They carry so much, not just the physical burdens of the day, but the emotional ones too. The weight of expectation, the pressure to be perfect, the fear of not being enough. For this moment, just let them be heavy. Allow them to drop away from your ears, to melt down and into the surface beneath you. Feel the space that opens up around your neck and across your collarbones. This is the feeling of letting go of a burden you didn't even realize you were carrying. Every ounce of tension you release is an act of kindness to yourself. And as you allow this softening to happen, you might notice your breath deepens just a little. It happens all on its own. The body knows what it needs. Your only job is to create the space for it to do its healing work. Consider the atmosphere in your room right now. The quality of the darkness. Is it a deep, velvety black? Or is there a soft glow from a street lamp outside your window? Notice the temperature of the air on your skin, the feel of the blankets, their texture, and their weight. These small sensory details bring you more fully into the present moment, away from the circling thoughts of yesterday and the worries about tomorrow. Right here, in this moment, everything is okay. You are simply lying in bed, breathing. That is all that is required of you, nothing more. This is the foundation we are building, a foundation of physical ease, of presence, of gentle awareness, because it is from this grounded place that we can begin to address that inner voice, not with resistance, but with a quiet, powerful compassion. The intention for our time together is simple: to create a truce between you and your mind, to quiet the inner critic, not by shouting it down, but by offering it something it has never received before: understanding. We will learn to listen to its story without believing its judgments. We will learn to see it not as an enemy, but as a misguided protector, a part of you that learned a harsh way to try and keep you safe. And in doing so, we will slowly, gently begin to dissolve its power. So as you continue to breathe, let this intention settle into your being. The intention to be kinder to yourself tonight. The intention to rest not just your body, but your heart. The intention to allow sleep to be a true sanctuary, a place of deep healing and restoration. Feel the truth of this desire in your body. It is a fundamental human need to feel safe, to feel worthy, to feel at peace with oneself, and you are so deserving of that peace. Let every inhale be a quiet affirmation of that worthiness, and every exhale a release of the old, tired story of self-hate. The journey has already begun. You are already on your way, simply by showing up for yourself tonight, by choosing to listen to a different kind of voice, a voice of stillness, of acceptance, of gentle care. Let your body continue to grow heavy, your mind to grow quiet, as you sink deeper and deeper into the comfort of this moment, held securely by the bed, by the stillness of the night, and by your own compassionate intention to find a better way to rest. There is nothing else to do right now but be here, allowing this process to unfold. And so you rest here, in this quiet space you have created, simply by turning your attention inward. In this stillness, thoughts will naturally arise. That is the nature of the mind. It produces thoughts just as the heart beats or the lungs breathe. We are not here to stop the thoughts, but to change our relationship to them. Imagine for a moment that you are sitting on a soft patch of grass, looking up at a vast, open sky. The sky is your awareness, spacious, calm, and unchanging. The thoughts that drift through your mind are like clouds. Some are light and wispy, barely there at all. Others are dark and heavy, full of rain. But you are not the clouds. You are the sky that holds them. Your job is not to chase the clouds away or cling to the sunny patches. It is simply to watch them drift by. From this place of spacious awareness, let's gently turn our attention to that specific cloud we know so well, the inner critic. We are not going to fight it or argue with it. We are not going to believe it or push it away. We are simply going to observe it with the detached curiosity of a scientist studying a natural phenomenon. Let's invite it into our awareness, just for a moment, knowing that we are safe here as the observer. You don't need to search for it. Simply recall a moment from today or yesterday where you felt you fell short, a mistake you made, a conversation you wish had gone differently, a goal you didn't meet. As you bring that moment to mind, just listen. What does the voice say? Don't get lost in the story or the words themselves. Instead, listen to the tone. What is the quality of this voice? Is it sharp? Impatient? Does it sound sarcastic or disappointed? Perhaps it's cold and clinical, listing your faults like a prosecutor. Or maybe it's anxious and hurried, full of panic about the consequences of your actions. Notice its rhythm. Is it relentless? One accusation tumbling after another with no room for a breath? Or is it a low, constant hum of disapproval in the background of your life? This voice has a distinct personality, a specific energetic signature. And by noticing its tone, its cadence, its temperature, you begin to separate from it. You begin to realize that this voice is not the fundamental truth of who you are. It is a pattern, a habit of the mind, an echo from the past. It is a cloud passing through the vast, peaceful sky of your true self. Now, as you continue to observe this voice, let's bring our awareness back into the body. How does your body respond when this voice speaks? This is such an important question because the body never lies. The mind can get lost in stories, but the body holds the physical truth of our emotional experiences. Let your attention drift once again to your jaw. When that critical thought form is present, does your jaw tighten? Do you find yourself clenching your teeth as if bracing for impact? Just notice. There is no need to change it, only to be aware of the connection. The thought appears and the jaw responds. Let your awareness travel down into your throat and chest. When the critic speaks of your perceived failures, what happens here? Many people experience a sensation of tightness, as if a band is constricting around their chest. It can feel difficult to take a full, deep breath. Sometimes there's a hollow ache right in the center of the sternum, the vulnerable place where we feel hurt and shame. This is the physical residue of those harsh words. This is your body communicating the pain that the voice inflicts. It is real, and your acknowledgement of it is a profound act of self-compassion. You are finally listening to the part of you that has been silently hurting. Now, bring your focus to your stomach. This area is often called our second brain, a place of deep intuition and feeling. When the voice of self-hate is active, what do you notice in your belly? For some, it's a knot of anxiety. For others, a feeling of nausea or a sense of dread. It can feel like you've been punched, a deep clenching in your solar plexus. This is the gut-level reaction to being attacked, even when the attack is coming from within. Again, just observe. No judgment, simply, there it is. When that voice speaks, my stomach tightens. This simple act of noticing creates a sliver of space. In that space is freedom. In that space is the beginning of healing. You are doing incredible work right now. For years, perhaps a lifetime, this voice has run unchecked, and you have likely been completely fused with it, believing every word it says. You believed its tone of authority. You believed its pronouncements of your inadequacy. Tonight, you are learning to take a step back. You are learning to see it for what it is, a pattern of thought and sensation, not a reflection of your worth, not an undeniable truth, just a cloud passing through, a tension in the jaw, a tightness in the chest, a knot in the stomach. These are observable phenomena, and because you can observe them, you are not them. You are the observer, the calm, steady presence watching it all, the sky that holds the weather. The weather may be stormy at times, but the sky is never harmed by the storm. The sky remains whole, open, and at peace. This is your true nature. So for the next few moments, as you lie here breathing, just continue to hold this gentle, observational stance. If the voice arises, notice its tone. Notice its effect on your body. And then, gently, bring your attention back to the physical sensation of your breath. Feel the air moving in and out. This breath is your anchor to the present moment, your anchor to the vast, peaceful sky of your own awareness. You are safe here. You are learning a new way. And every moment of awareness is a step toward liberation, a step toward a quiet and peaceful sleep. As you continue to rest in this space of gentle observation, allowing the clouds of thought to drift by, let's take a moment to acknowledge something incredibly important. Let's acknowledge the sheer exhaustion of it all, the deep soul-level weariness that comes from carrying this internal battle day after day, year after year. Think of the immense amount of energy it takes to live with a relentless inner critic. It's like walking through life with a heavy backpack filled with stones. Each stone a harsh judgment, a past mistake, a fear of future failure. You've been carrying this weight for so long, you might not even notice it's there most of the time. It has become your normal. But here, in the quiet of the night, you can finally feel its true heft, the effort of constantly defending yourself against yourself, the strain of always being on high alert, waiting for the next internal attack, the drain of never feeling quite good enough, no matter how much you achieve or how hard you try. Let yourself feel that exhaustion now, not as a weakness, but as a profound and honest truth. Give it permission to be here. It is not a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that you have been fighting an impossible war. Let the weariness wash over you, a heavy, warm wave. Feel it in your muscles, in your bones, in the very marrow of your being. The fatigue that settles behind your eyes, the leaden feeling in your limbs, the quiet sigh that escapes your lips without you even thinking about it. This is the body's wisdom, speaking its truth. It is saying, I am tired of fighting. I am ready to rest. And as you allow this feeling of exhaustion to be present, consider the deep, quiet ache that lies beneath it. The ache of having believed those harsh words for so long. There is a part of you, a tender, vulnerable part, that has absorbed every criticism, every judgment, every should and should not. This is the part of you that has felt the sting of every insult as if it were the gospel truth. This part has learned to equate its worth with performance, to see every mistake as a confirmation of its fundamental flaws. And it hurts. It is a deep, abiding sorrow to feel at war with yourself. It is a lonely experience to believe that the one person who is always with you is also your harshest judge. Let yourself connect with that ache for a moment, not to wallow in it, but to honor it, to finally give it a voice. This is the pain of the inner child who was just trying their best. The pain of the teenager who felt they never fit in. The pain of the adult who feels they are constantly falling short of an invisible, ever-moving target. This pain is not an invention. It is a real and legitimate response to years of internal cruelty. It deserves to be felt. It deserves to be met with kindness. You have been so strong, carrying this hurt for so long, often with a smile on your face, convincing the world, and maybe even yourself, that you were fine. But here, in the safety of your own bed, you can let the mask slip. You can admit to yourself how much it has cost you. And here, in this quiet space, let this truth land in your heart. Your weariness is valid. It is completely and utterly valid. It takes immense strength to live with such a relentless inner critic. It takes the resilience of a warrior to get up every morning and face the day when your own mind is telling you that you are not capable, not worthy, not enough. You have been doing this for years. You have navigated challenges, celebrated successes, cared for others, and moved through life, all while carrying this invisible, heavy burden. That is not weakness. That is a testament to your incredible, enduring strength. You have survived your own mind, and that is a victory worth acknowledging. Let that sink in. Let it be a balm to that deep ache. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are strong for having carried so much for so long. You are not broken for feeling the pain of self-judgment. You are human, with a heart that is capable of feeling deeply. And tonight, you are learning to turn that deep capacity for feeling toward yourself with compassion. You are learning to offer yourself the same grace you would so readily offer to a friend who was struggling. Imagine what you would say to someone you love if they told you they were exhausted from fighting themselves. You would not tell them to try harder. You would not list their faults. You would likely say, "Of course you're tired. That sounds incredibly hard. Let me sit with you. Let me help you carry that for a while. You don't have to do this alone." Tonight, you are learning to become that friend to yourself. You are sitting with your own exhaustion. You are acknowledging your own pain. You are holding space for your own weariness without judgment. This is the beginning of a profound shift. It is the moment the warrior lays down their sword, not in defeat, but in wisdom. The wisdom to know that some battles are not meant to be won through fighting, but through surrender. A surrender to rest. A surrender to self-compassion. A surrender to the simple, powerful truth that you have done enough. You have been enough. And it is time, finally, to be at peace. So let your body absorb this message. Let your weary muscles release. Let your aching heart soften. Your weariness is valid. Your pain is seen, and your strength is undeniable. Rest in that knowledge now. Just rest. As you rest in this space of acknowledgement, feeling the validity of your exhaustion, let's explore this inner critic from a new perspective. Let's consider a revolutionary idea. This critical voice that feels so intimately yours is not actually you. It is not the core of who you are. Think about it this way. When you were born, you did not arrive with a pre-installed inner monologue of self-doubt and judgment. As a baby, as a small child, your essence was pure presence, curiosity, and an unfiltered expression of need and joy. You did not critique the way you cried or judge the way you stumbled when you were learning to walk. You were simply being, learning, and growing. So where did this voice come from? It is a recording, a collage of sounds and beliefs and fears that you absorbed from the world around you, long before you had the capacity to question them. It is a voice you were taught. It is made up of the echoes of a parent's anxieties about your future, their voice laced with urgency. You must try harder. Don't be lazy. Is that the best you can do? They likely meant well, trying to prepare you for a competitive world, but your young, sensitive nervous system recorded the tone of disapproval, the underlying message that your current state was not good enough. It's a recording of a teacher's impatience, a frustrated sigh when you didn't grasp a concept quickly enough, which your mind interpreted as, "I am stupid." It is the sound of playground taunts, the sting of social rejection that taught you to scan yourself for flaws, to try and fix them before anyone else could point them out. This voice is also a recording of the culture we live in, the relentless hum of advertising that tells you you need to be thinner, richer, younger, more productive. The highlight reels of social media that present a curated, impossible standard of perfection, leading to the quiet, constant whisper of, "I'm falling behind. I'm not doing it right." These messages are everywhere, seeping into our consciousness like a subtle, toxic gas. Over time, these external voices become internalized. They weave themselves together into a single, authoritative narrator inside your head. And because this narrator has been speaking for so long, you've come to believe it is you. You think you are the one judging yourself, but you are not. You are the one who has been listening to a very old, very repetitive, and very convincing recording. Recognizing this is a moment of profound liberation. It means you are not inherently flawed or broken for having this voice. It means you are human. This experience is a fundamental part of the human condition in our modern world. Almost everyone walks around with some version of this inner critic. You are not alone in this struggle. Far from it. This is a shared burden, a collective wound. And the moment you realize that, the shame can begin to dissolve. Shame thrives in secrecy and isolation. It convinces you that you are the only one who feels this way, that your inner critic is a sign of some unique personal failing. But the truth is, it is a sign of your sensitivity, your humanity, and your participation in a complex world. You are not broken for having this voice. You are simply human. Let that idea wash over you. Feel the release in that simple statement. You are human. And as a human, you learn to adapt. This critical voice, as painful as it is, was originally a survival mechanism. It was your young mind's best attempt to protect you. It developed as a strategy to avoid future pain. It thought, if I can criticize myself first, if I can find my own flaws before anyone else does, maybe I can fix them. Maybe then I'll be safe from rejection. Maybe then I'll be loved. The inner critic became a preemptive strike. Its harshness was a misguided attempt to control the world, to make you perfect enough to be invulnerable to hurt. It was a suit of armor you built as a child to navigate a world that felt unsafe. The problem is, you grew up, but the armor didn't. It's still there, heavy and constricting. It has outlived its purpose. The very mechanism that was designed to protect you is now the primary source of your pain. It keeps you small, it limits your joy, and it isolates you from others and from your own true self. It is a survival strategy whose time has passed. So, as you lie here, you can begin to thank this voice for its service. It sounds strange, but this is a powerful step. You can say to it, silently in your own mind, "Thank you for trying to protect me. I see that you were doing the best you could with the tools you had. You were trying to keep me safe. But I am an adult now. I have new tools. I have new wisdom. I no longer need this kind of harsh protection. Your job is done. You can rest now. This is not a battle. This is a peaceful decommissioning. You are not banishing a monster. You are retiring a guard who has been on duty for far too long. A guard who has become overzealous and is now mistaking the homeowner for an intruder. By understanding its origin and its original intention, you can bring compassion to it. And with compassion, its grip begins to loosen. It doesn't have to be a loud, angry voice anymore. It can soften. It can recede into the background. And in the space that it leaves, something new can begin to grow. A voice that is actually yours. A voice of wisdom, of kindness, of gentle encouragement. A voice that knows you are not a problem to be fixed, but a human being to be cared for. Just allow this understanding to settle deep within you. This voice is not you. It's a recording. It's a survival mechanism. And you have the power, right now, to begin to let it go. Having understood that this voice is not your own, but a learned recording, we can now turn to the feelings it has left in its wake. For so long, you may have tried to push these feelings away. When the sting of self-criticism arose, perhaps you tried to numb it, distract yourself, or simply power through it, telling yourself to be tougher. But tonight, we will do something radically different. We will give ourselves full permission to feel the hurt. Let's create a safe, compassionate space right here, in the comfort of your bed, to finally validate the pain caused by years and years of this internal barrage. Think about it. If another person followed you around all day, speaking to you with the same tone and using the same words as your inner critic, you would call it abuse. You would recognize the deep emotional damage it was causing. Yet, because this voice is internal, we often dismiss its impact. We tell ourselves we're being too sensitive or that we should just get over it. But the nervous system doesn't know the difference between an external threat and an internal one. An attack is an attack, and the pain it causes is real. It makes perfect sense that you feel unworthy at times. When you have a voice inside your head constantly pointing out your flaws, highlighting your mistakes, and comparing you unfavorably to others, how could you not internalize that feeling of inadequacy? The feeling of unworthiness is not a sign that you are actually unworthy. It is a direct, logical, and deeply human emotional response to being constantly criticized. It is an emotional wound, just as real as a physical one. So let's validate that feeling. Let's allow it to be here without judgment. You can say to yourself, "Of course I feel this way sometimes. I've been marinating in self-judgment for decades. It makes sense that I would feel unworthy." This simple act of validation is like applying a soothing balm to a burn. It stops the cycle of second-guessing your own feelings. You are not wrong for feeling hurt. You are not weak for feeling sad or ashamed in the face of such relentless criticism. Your feelings are a healthy, intelligent signal from your emotional body that something is wrong, that a boundary has been crossed, that you are in pain and in need of care. For the first time, perhaps, you are listening to that signal not with more judgment, but with kindness and understanding. You are finally giving yourself the empathy you have so desperately needed, the empathy that the inner critic has always withheld. Now, in this spirit of gentle validation, let's take a moment to honor the part of you that has endured all of this. Beneath the layers of self-criticism and the pain of unworthiness, there is a core of incredible resilience. There is a part of you that has gotten up every single day, despite the inner voice telling you to stay in bed. There's a part of you that has continued to try, to love, to create, and to connect, even while feeling deeply flawed. This is your life force, your spirit, your unbreakable essence. This is the part of you that has carried the weight of the critic's words and has still, somehow, kept moving forward. It has been a quiet, unsung hero in your own life story. Let's send some appreciation to that resilient self. Acknowledge its strength, its courage, its tenacity. It has absorbed so much pain on your behalf, acting as a buffer between the critic's cruelty and your most vulnerable, tender heart. It has shown up for exams, for job interviews, for difficult conversations, for first dates, all while the inner critic was screaming that it would fail. It has raised children, cared for loved ones, and built a life, all while being told it wasn't doing a good enough job. This resilient self is magnificent. It is you at your core. It has never, ever given up on you. And tonight, you are finally turning towards it and saying, I see you. I see how hard you have worked. I see the burdens you have carried, and I am so, so grateful. As you connect with this deep well of inner strength, let this affirmation settle into your being. Let it be a truth that you feel in your bones. Every feeling you have in response to this voice is real and deserves to be heard with kindness. Let's break that down. Every feeling, not just the good ones, the ache of sadness, the sting of shame, the heat of frustration, the cold dread of anxiety, the weary resignation, all of it. All of your emotional responses are valid. They are not problems to be solved. They are messages to be heard. They are your inner self, communicating with you in the only language it has. And they deserve to be heard with kindness, not with analysis, not with judgment, not with an agenda to fix them or make them go away. Just simple, open, unconditional kindness. The way you would listen to a small child who has come to you with a scraped knee. You wouldn't tell the child they were overreacting. You wouldn't tell them to stop crying. You would get down on their level, open your arms, and say, "Oh, sweetie, that looks like it really hurts. Let me see. It's okay to cry. I'm right here with you." This is the quality of attention you are now learning to offer yourself. You are becoming your own safe harbor, your own soft place to land. So just for a few more moments, rest in this state of self-validation. Let go of the need to be anything other than what you are, to feel anything other than what you feel. If sadness is here, let it be held in kindness. If weariness is here, let it be held in kindness. If a flicker of hope is here, let that be held in kindness too. You are creating a new internal environment, one that is not hostile and judgmental, but warm, accepting, and deeply compassionate. This is the fertile ground from which a new relationship with yourself can grow. A relationship based not on criticism, but on care. Not on perfection, but on presence. Not on hate, but on a quiet, steady, and unconditional love. Now that we have honored the pain and validated the feelings that arise from the inner critic, we can begin to gently release the weight of its words. This is not a forceful act of pushing away. It is not a battle. It is more like opening a window in a stuffy room to let in the fresh air. It is a soft, allowing release, born from the understanding that you no longer need to hold on so tightly to these old, painful beliefs. You have acknowledged their impact. You have honored your resilience, and now you can give yourself permission to let them go. Let's engage our imagination, a powerful tool for communicating with the deeper parts of our mind. Begin by bringing to mind one of the common phrases your inner critic uses. Perhaps it is, "You're not good enough," or "You always mess things up," or "You should be further along by now." Choose one that feels familiar, one that carries a particular weight for you. Don't get caught in the story behind it. Just see the words themselves. Now, I want you to visualize these words in front of you. Imagine them spelled out in the air, hanging in the darkness of your room. But these are not words carved in stone. They are not permanent or solid. Instead, I want you to imagine that each letter is made of fine, dry sand. See the texture of it, the tiny grains that form the shapes of these heavy words. They might look solid from a distance, but you know that with the slightest touch, they will begin to crumble. They have no inherent structural integrity. They are just a collection of loose particles, temporarily held in a familiar shape. Now, connect with your breath. Feel the gentle, steady rhythm of your breathing, the effortless rise and fall of your chest or abdomen. Your breath is the gentle breeze that will disperse these words of sand. As you inhale, you gather your calm, centered presence. You are the sky, remember? Vast and undisturbed. And as you exhale, imagine a soft, gentle puff of air leaving your lips and touching those letters made of sand. You don't have to blow hard. It is not an act of force. It is a sigh of release. And as your breath touches the words, watch as the grains of sand begin to loosen and drift away. The sharp edges of the letters soften and dissolve. The phrase, "You're not good enough," begins to lose its shape. The Y and the O and the U crumbling into a soft, shimmering cloud of dust that is carried away on the gentle currents of air in the room, eventually settling harmlessly on the floor, becoming nothing more than indistinct specks. Let's try that again. Take another gentle breath in, and as you breathe out, a long, slow, soft exhale. Watch as another word dissolves. The structure falls apart completely. There is no meaning left, only dissipating particles. With each breath out, you are gently dismantling the old structures of self-hate. You are using your own life force, your own breath, to cleanse your inner space. Feel the sense of lightness that begins to emerge as these heavy words lose their form and their power. The space where they once hung is now just empty space, quiet, peaceful, open. Let's work with another image, if that feels better for you. Perhaps you can visualize these critical words as letters written in smoke. Imagine a plume of dark, gray smoke that twists and curls in the air to form a familiar, hurtful phrase. It seems to have substance. It seems real, but you know the nature of smoke. It has no true form. It is ephemeral, transient. It cannot be grasped. Now, again, use your breath. As you exhale, imagine your breath as a clear, clean current of air. Watch as it moves through the letters made of smoke. The smoke does not resist. It cannot. It simply swirls and thins, becoming more and more transparent. The words lose their legibility, a harsh judgment becoming a soft, unintelligible wisp. With your next exhale, the last traces of the smoke vanish completely, dissolving into the clear air of the room. The air is clean again. The message is gone. It was never truly there in the first place, just a temporary and illusory formation. The point of this exercise is not to pretend the words were never there. It is to experience their true nature. They are not solid. They are not permanent. They are not the truth. They are transient events in the mind, like sand sculptures or smoke signals, and you have the power, through your gentle, focused attention and your breath, to allow them to dissolve. You are not destroying an enemy. You are simply ceasing to give form and energy to an old habit. You are letting go of the effort it takes to hold these painful structures together. In this moment, right now, give yourself permission to let go of the burden, even if it's just for the next few minutes, even if the words come back tomorrow. For this moment, in the safety of your bed, you can choose to lay them down. Feel the space this creates, a space in your mind, a space in your chest, a space in your belly. Where there was once tightness and constriction from the weight of these words, there is now a sense of openness and ease. It might feel unfamiliar. It might feel a little empty. That is okay. This is new territory. You are creating a clearing in the dense forest of your mind. In this clearing, new things can grow. Kinder thoughts, more compassionate feelings, a sense of inner peace. All you have to do is allow the old structures to dissolve. Your breath is the key. Every slow, intentional exhale is an act of release. Releasing old beliefs, releasing the weight of the past, releasing the need to judge yourself so harshly. So continue to breathe. With every inhale, draw in a sense of calm and self-acceptance. And with every exhale, let go of another grain of sand, another wisp of smoke. You are doing this. You are actively participating in your own healing in the gentlest way imaginable. There is no strain, no struggle. Just the simple, profound magic of breath and intention, clearing the space for you to rest, deeply and peacefully, free from the weight of words that were never yours to carry in the first place. As you rest in this newfound inner space, feeling the lightness that comes from letting those heavy words dissolve, let's go a little deeper. Let's gently touch the very root from which most self-hate grows. And that root is the impossible, unspoken rule of perfection. From a very young age, we are taught to strive for flawlessness, the perfect grade on a test, the perfect performance in a sport, the perfect appearance, the perfect career path, the perfect family. Society holds up an ideal of perfection that is entirely inhuman and unattainable. And then we internalize that ideal and spend our lives feeling like a failure for not meeting it. The inner critic is the enforcer of this impossible rule. Its job is to scan for any deviation from perfection and punish it harshly, believing that this punishment will somehow whip us into shape, forcing us to finally become flawless. But it is a futile and deeply painful pursuit, because perfection does not exist in the natural world, and it does not exist in the human experience. Think for a moment of a forest. Picture yourself standing in the middle of a vast, ancient woodland. What makes it beautiful? Is it the perfect symmetry of the trees? Are all the trunks perfectly straight, all the branches of identical length? Of course not. The beauty of the forest lies in its profound and wild imperfection. It is the gnarled, twisted branch of an old oak that tells the story of its struggle for sunlight. It is the fallen leaves blanketing the ground, decomposing and creating rich new soil for future growth. It is the moss growing thick on one side of a tree, a testament to the direction of the rain and the wind. It's the fallen log, now home to 1,000 tiny insects and fungi, a crucial part of the ecosystem cycle of death and rebirth. A forest that was perfect, with every tree in a straight line, every branch pruned to a uniform length, every leaf swept from the ground, would not feel alive. It would feel sterile, artificial, and deeply unsettling. It would lack character, history, and wisdom. The very things we find most beautiful and awe-inspiring about the forest are its so-called imperfections. They are the evidence of its resilience, its adaptability, and its life. And so it is with you. Your flaws, your mistakes, your imperfections, these are not signs that you are broken. They are the signs that you have lived. They are the gnarled branches that show where you have weathered storms. They are the scars that tell stories of healing. They are the fallen leaves of past experiences that have become the rich soil for your current wisdom and growth. The demand for perfection is a rejection of life itself. Life is messy, unpredictable, and inherently imperfect. To demand perfection from yourself is to be at war with your own nature. It is to demand that the river flow in a perfectly straight line, that the mountain have no jagged edges, that the sky have no clouds. It is an impossible and exhausting standard. Tonight, you can give yourself permission to release the rule of perfection. You can formally resign from the job of being flawless. It is not a position you ever truly wanted, and it is one you were never meant to hold. You can, right now, accept a new role, the role of being a human being, a beautifully, wonderfully, gloriously imperfect human being, a work in progress. Feel the relief that comes with this decision. Imagine taking off a suit of armor that is 2 sizes too small, that you have been wearing your entire life. The pinching, the chafing, the sheer weight of it. As you let it fall to the floor, you can finally take a full, deep breath. You can move freely. You can feel the air on your skin. This is the freedom that comes from embracing your own imperfection. It is not about giving up or becoming complacent. It is about trading the harsh, brittle energy of perfectionism for the flexible, resilient energy of growth. A work in progress is a living thing. A finished, perfect product is static. It is no longer growing. To be a work in progress is to be alive, to be learning, to be evolving. It is the most natural and beautiful state of being. So let this new understanding settle into your body. Let go of the need to have it all figured out. Let go of the need to get everything right the first time. Let go of the need to present a flawless image to the world. You are allowed to be messy. You are allowed to be unsure. You are allowed to be learning as you go. Just like the forest, your beauty is not in your flawlessness, but in your authenticity, in your unique and unrepeatable story, written in the language of your scars, your triumphs, your stumbles, and your resilience. You are a living, breathing ecosystem, constantly changing, adapting, and growing. Let this release be a deep, physical letting go. Feel the tension leaving your shoulders, the tension that comes from trying to hold an impossible pose of perfection. Feel the knot in your stomach unwinding, the knot of fear that you will be exposed as imperfect. Feel your heart soften, releasing the ache of never feeling good enough. You are enough, exactly as you are. Not when you fix this one last thing, not when you achieve that next goal. You are enough right now, in this bed, in this moment, with all of your beautiful human imperfections. The forest does not apologize for its gnarled branches. It simply is. And you too can simply be a work in progress and a masterpiece all at the same time. Rest in that paradox. Rest in that freedom. As you settle into this comfortable space of embracing imperfection, let's gently redefine one of the biggest tools the inner critic uses against you: the concept of mistakes. For the perfectionist mind, a mistake is not just an undesirable outcome. It is treated as catastrophic evidence. A mistake becomes irrefutable proof of your fundamental unworthiness. The inner critic holds it up like a prosecutor in a courtroom and declares, "See, I told you. You are incompetent. You are not smart enough. You are a failure." And we have been taught to believe this narrative. We learn to fear mistakes, to hide them, to ruminate on them for days or even years, allowing them to define our sense of self. A single misstep can overshadow 100 successes. But this is a profoundly distorted and unkind way to view the human experience of learning and growing. Tonight, we are going to shift that narrative. We are going to gently move from the belief that mistakes are proof of unworthiness to the much kinder and more accurate truth that mistakes are proof of trying. Think about it. The only way to live a life without any mistakes is to do nothing at all, to never try anything new, to never take a risk, to never be vulnerable, to never speak up, to never create, to never love. A life without mistakes would be a small, sterile, and unlived life. Mistakes are not the enemy of a successful life. They are an essential, unavoidable, and incredibly valuable part of it. They are the friction that creates the spark of new learning. They are the data points that tell us what doesn't work so we can find what does. A life rich with experience will inevitably be a life filled with mistakes. They are the footprints on the path, showing that you have been on a journey. They are proof that you have been engaged, that you have been brave, that you have shown up for your own life. So, let's reframe how we see them. Let's see every misstep not as a failure, but as a lesson, or a redirection, or simply as part of the messy, unpredictable texture of being human. Think of a time you learned a new skill. Perhaps it was learning to ride a bike. Did you get on and pedal perfectly the first time? Of course not. You wobbled. You fell. You scraped your knee. Each fall was not a verdict on your character. It wasn't proof that you were a bad bike rider. It was simply feedback from the universe. Okay, leaning that far doesn't work. Let's try adjusting my balance this way. Each mistake was a necessary step in the process of learning. Without the falls, you would have never found your center of gravity. It is the same with every other part of life. The awkward conversation was a lesson in communication. The failed project at work was a lesson in strategy or timing. The relationship that ended was a lesson in love, in boundaries, in what you truly need. When we see mistakes as lessons, we rob them of their power to create shame. They are no longer indictments of our worth, but simply chapters in our education. They become sources of wisdom, not sources of self-hate. There is no shame in learning. In fact, it is an act of courage to be a beginner, to be willing to be imperfect in the pursuit of growth. And we are always beginners in some area of our lives. You have been so brave. You have been willing to fall again and again in the process of learning to navigate this complex world. It is time to honor that bravery instead of punishing the falls. Consider this analogy. A river flowing from a mountain to the sea does not follow a perfectly straight path. It meanders. It bumps into rocks and has to change its course. It flows into dead ends and has to double back. It carves new pathways through the earth over time. The river does not condemn itself for changing course. It doesn't berate itself for hitting a boulder. It doesn't feel shame for having to find a new way forward. It simply flows. It responds to the landscape it finds itself in, with persistence and flexibility. Your life is like that river. Your mistakes are the moments you encountered a boulder. They are the necessary redirections. They are what have carved the unique and beautiful path of your life. Without them, your journey would have no texture, no depth, no wisdom. So, can you bring a specific mistake to mind? One that you have carried with you, one that still brings a sting of shame. Hold it gently in your awareness. See the story you have told yourself about it. The story of failure, of inadequacy. And now, can you try to tell a new story? Can you look at it with the eyes of a compassionate scientist and ask, what was the lesson here? What did I learn about myself or about the world? Perhaps the lesson was about trusting your intuition. Perhaps it was about the importance of asking for help. Perhaps it was simply learning that you are resilient enough to survive things you thought you couldn't. Find the wisdom that is buried within the memory of that mistake. See it not as a stain on your character, but as a hard-won piece of your education. As you do this, you might feel a shift inside. The charge of shame begins to neutralize. The harsh judgment softens into a gentle curiosity. The regret transforms into a quiet gratitude for the lesson learned. This is how you begin to heal your relationship with your past. Not by pretending the mistakes didn't happen, but by harvesting the wisdom from them and letting go of the self-blame. You are allowed to have made mistakes. It is part of your birthright as a human being who is here to learn. You are the river, and every twist and turn in your path has been part of your journey to the great open sea. Let go of the fight. Just flow. Rest in the knowledge that your journey is exactly as it should be, complete with all its beautiful, informative, and life-giving detours. Having gently reframed your mistakes as lessons, as necessary parts of your journey, you have created even more space inside. The loud, insistent voice of the critic has softened, and the landscape of your mind is quieter. Into this quiet, we can now begin to introduce a new voice, not as a replacement that shouts over the old one, but as a gentle, consistent presence that offers a different perspective. This is the voice of self-acceptance. It has been there all along, underneath the noise, waiting patiently to be heard. It is the voice of your own deepest wisdom, your own innate compassion. It is calm, it is gentle, and it is deeply, unconditionally kind. It does not speak in the language of shoulds and musts. It does not deal in judgment or comparison. Its native language is acceptance, understanding, and encouragement. At first, this voice might feel foreign. You may not even know what it sounds like. That is perfectly okay. We can learn its language by borrowing a voice we already know. The voice you use when you speak to someone you deeply care about. Imagine a beloved friend, or a family member, or even a small child who has just made the very same mistake you were thinking about earlier. They come to you, their shoulders slumped, their eyes filled with shame, and they tell you what they did. What is your instant, gut-level response? What is the tone that naturally comes into your voice? It would likely be soft, gentle, reassuring. You wouldn't say, "See, I told you, you always mess things up." You would never dream of speaking to someone you love that way. Instead, you might say something like, "Oh, that sounds so hard. I'm sorry that happened." You would validate their feelings first. Then, you might say, "It's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. This doesn't change who you are." you're still a good, wonderful person. You would separate their action from their identity, something the inner critic never does. You might then offer a gentle, curious perspective. What do you think you can learn from this? You would help them find the lesson, not to rub it in, but to empower them. And finally, you would offer unconditional support. I'm here for you. We'll get through this. You're not alone. That voice, the one that is patient, validating, kind, and supportive, that is the voice of self-acceptance. That is the voice you are now learning to turn inward. Let's practice it. Bring that same mistake back to mind, just for a moment. Feel the familiar pang of shame or regret. And now, in your own mind, speak to yourself as you would speak to that beloved friend. Use those same gentle words. Oh, that was a really hard situation. It's okay that you feel bad about it. Feel the validation. Then, this one mistake doesn't define you. You have so many other wonderful qualities. You are still a good person. Feel the separation of action from identity. And then, what was the lesson here? What can you take from this moving forward? Feel the shift from judgment to curiosity. And finally, I am here for you. I will not abandon you just because you made a mistake. I will be kind to you as you heal from this. Feel the deep comfort of unconditional self-support. This may feel awkward at first. It might feel like you're pretending, or that you don't deserve such kindness. That's just the old critic trying to maintain its territory. Just notice that resistance, and then gently return to the practice. The more you consciously choose to activate this compassionate voice, the more natural it will become. You are carving a new neural pathway in your brain. For years, the pathway of self-criticism has been a well-worn superhighway. It's automatic, fast, and efficient. The pathway of self-compassion, for now, might be just a faint footpath in the woods. But every time you consciously choose to speak to yourself with kindness, you walk that path. You clear away a few branches. You tamp down the earth. With repetition, that path becomes clearer, wider, and easier to travel. Eventually, it will become your new default. It will become the automatic response. Let this beautiful affirmation sink into the quiet, fertile ground of your mind. Let it be a seed from which this new voice can grow. You are allowed to be both a masterpiece and a work in progress simultaneously. This is one of the core truths that the compassionate voice knows. The inner critic operates in a world of black and white. You are either a success or a failure, perfect or worthless, a masterpiece or a disaster. But the voice of wisdom knows that this is a false dichotomy. You are both. You are a masterpiece in that your core worth is inherent, complete, and unquestionable right now, just as you are. You are a unique expression of life that has never existed before and will never exist again. In that, you are perfect. And you are a work in progress in that you are a living, evolving being who is constantly learning, growing, and changing. You are allowed to be learning. You are allowed to be unfinished. Holding these two truths together dissolves the tension of perfectionism. You don't have to choose. You can honor the masterpiece that you already are, while giving yourself the grace to be the work in progress that you are also. You can appreciate your own beauty and strength, while also being gentle with your own stumbles and learning curves. Let this idea be a comfort to you. It releases you from the impossible burden of having to be one or the other. You are both, masterpiece and work in progress, whole and growing, enough and becoming. Let the gentle hum of this paradox be a lullaby for your nervous system. It is a profound truth, and in its balance, there is deep, deep peace. Rest in this knowing. Rest in the sound of this new, kinder voice that is, and always has been, your own. As the sound of this new, compassionate voice becomes more familiar, like a soft and steady hum beneath the surface of things, we can use it to reconnect with a fundamental truth. A truth that has been obscured by the clouds of self-judgment for a very long time. This is the truth of your inherent worth. Let's take a journey together, a journey inward, past all the layers of identity that you have accumulated over the years. Peel back, for a moment, the layer of your job title or your career. It is something you do, but it is not who you are. Peel back the layer of your roles in your family: parent, child, sibling, partner. These are relationships you have, but they are not the essence of your being. Peel back the layer of your accomplishments and your failures, the stories of your successes and your mistakes. These are experiences you've had, but they are not the core of you. Peel back the layers of personality, the labels like introvert or extrovert, organized or creative. These are just descriptions of your patterns. Go deeper. Beneath all of these layers, beneath all the noise of the inner critic and the striving of the ego, there is a core self, a silent, aware presence, a place of pure being. This is the part of you that was there when you were a baby, before you had a name or a story. It is the part of you that simply witnesses your life, that feels joy and sorrow, that experiences the world through your senses. It is the steady, unchanging consciousness that has been with you through every single moment of your existence. This core self has a quality of profound stillness and peace, and its worth is not in question. It does not need to be earned. It cannot be increased by success or diminished by failure. It simply is. This is your inherent worth. It is your birthright. It is as fundamental to you as your own breath. The problem is, we have been taught a very different story. We have been taught the story of conditional worth. This story says, you will be worthy if you get good grades. You will be worthy if you are beautiful. You will be worthy if you are successful, productive, wealthy, popular. We have been taught that our worth is something outside of ourselves, something we have to achieve, earn, and then desperately cling to. And the inner critic is the relentless taskmaster of this conditional system. It is constantly measuring your performance, constantly checking if you are meeting the conditions, constantly warning you that you are about to lose your worthiness. This is the source of so much anxiety and striving. It is the hamster wheel of not good enough that keeps us running, exhausted, our entire lives. But it is all based on a false premise. It is a lie. A beautiful, grand, and culturally reinforced lie. Your worth is not, and has never been, conditional on your performance, your productivity, or your perfection. It is not conditional on how your body looks, how much money you have, or how many people approve of you. It is inherent, unconditional, unwavering. It was there on the day you were born, and it will be there on the day you die. It is the life force that animates you, the consciousness that experiences through you. Nothing you do or don't do can ever touch it. Let this idea land. Let it be a deep, seismic shift in your understanding of yourself. You can get off the hamster wheel. You can stop running. You can stop proving. you can just rest in the absolute, unshakable truth of your own enoughness. Let this affirmation resonate in the deepest part of your being. Your worth was never in question. It has been there all along, waiting patiently. It has been like the sun, always present, always shining, even on the days when it is completely obscured by thick, dark clouds of self-doubt and criticism. The clouds are not the reality. The sun is. The clouds are temporary weather patterns in the mind. The sun of your inherent worth is the constant, life-giving center of your own inner universe. All this work we have been doing, observing the critic, releasing the old words, reframing mistakes, has been about creating a break in the clouds. It has been about letting a ray of that sunlight finally touch your skin. Feel that warmth now. Feel the truth of your own intrinsic value, not as an intellectual concept, but as a felt sensation in your body. It might feel like a gentle warmth spreading through your chest. It might feel like a quiet sense of solidity in your belly. It might feel like a deep, peaceful relaxation in all of your muscles, as the tension of striving finally lets go. There is nothing to prove. There is no one to impress, not even yourself. You are already worthy. You have always been worthy. You will always be worthy. The only thing that has changed is your own awareness of it. You are simply remembering a truth that your soul has never forgotten. This remembrance is the ultimate antidote to the poison of self-hate. The inner critic can only operate in a system of conditional worth. It has no power in the face of inherent worth. Its threats become meaningless. Its judgments become irrelevant. When you know in your bones that your worth is not on the line, the critic's voice becomes nothing more than a faint, distant noise, like the sound of traffic far away. It no longer has the power to wound you. You are anchored in a truth that is deeper, older, and far more powerful than its tired, repetitive script. So rest in this anchor. Feel your connection to this deep, quiet, worthy core of your being. It is your true home. It is the source of your peace. It is the sun that has been waiting patiently behind the clouds. And tonight, it is shining just for you. As you rest in this deep, quiet knowing of your inherent worth, let's anchor this feeling into your body and mind with a simple, powerful phrase. This phrase is not an aspiration, something you hope to be one day. It is a declaration of what is true right now. It is the perfect synthesis of the two beautiful truths we have uncovered, that you are a masterpiece and that you are a work in progress. The phrase is this: I am imperfect and I am enough. Let's just sit with those words for a moment. I am imperfect and I am enough. Notice the beautiful balance in that statement. It doesn't deny reality. It doesn't pretend that you are flawless. It starts with a radical act of honesty. I am imperfect. Yes, I have flaws. I make mistakes. I have moods. I have scars. I have things I am still learning. I am not a finished product. I am gloriously, messily, humanly imperfect. There is no shame in this admission. It is a simple, humble, and liberating statement of fact. And then comes the second part, connected by that crucial word, and, not but. But would imply a contradiction. I am imperfect, but I am enough, would suggest that you are enough in spite of your imperfections. The word and is a bridge of acceptance. It holds both truths together in equal value. I am imperfect and I am enough. This means you are enough not in spite of your imperfections, but with them. They are part of the package. They do not diminish your enoughness in any way. Your worthiness is not contingent on you fixing your imperfections. Your worthiness coexists peacefully and completely with all of your human flaws. This is the heart of true self-acceptance. Now, let's feel this phrase in the body. We are going to let this truth settle into every cell, like a deep, resonant hum of peace. Begin by silently repeating the first part of the phrase to yourself as you inhale. I am imperfect. And as you exhale, silently repeat the second part. And I am enough. Let's do that together a few times. Breathing in the honest acknowledgement, I am imperfect. Breathing out the deep, soul-level truth, and I am enough. Feel the rhythm of it. The inhale acknowledges your humanity. The exhale affirms your divinity. There is no conflict. They are two sides of the same beautiful coin. Your breath is the bridge that connects them. As you continue with this gentle rhythm, let the meaning of the words seep into you. With the inhale, I am imperfect, allow yourself to feel a sense of release. Release the pressure to be flawless. Release the fear of being exposed. Release the exhaustion of trying to hide your flaws. It's okay. You are allowed to be imperfect. It is safe to be who you are. Feel the relaxation that comes with this acceptance, a softening in your shoulders, a loosening in your jaw, a warmth in your heart. And with the exhale, and I am enough, let a feeling of deep peace and solidity settle into your body. Feel it as a grounding force, a quiet confidence that radiates from your core. You are enough. You lack nothing of fundamental importance. You are whole and complete right now. There is nothing to prove, nothing to earn. You can just be. Let this feeling of enoughness fill you up, from the soles of your feet to the crown of your head. Let's take this even deeper. Visualize these words, imperfect and enough, as a gentle, warm light. As you breathe, imagine this light flowing through your entire body. Let it flow into your feet, which have stumbled at times, but have also carried you on your journey. They are imperfect, and they are enough. Let the light flow into your legs, which have grown tired, but have always found the strength to stand up again. They are imperfect, and they are enough. Let it fill your belly, which has felt knotted with anxiety, but is also the center of your intuition and power. It is imperfect, and it is enough. Let the light flow into your heart, which has been broken and has ached with sorrow, but has also known deep love and has never stopped beating. It is imperfect, and it is enough. Let the light fill your hands, which have made mistakes, but have also created and comforted and held on. They are imperfect, and they are enough. Let it flow into your mind, which has been clouded by self-doubt, but is also capable of incredible wisdom, compassion, and imagination. It is imperfect, and it is enough. Every single part of you is being bathed in this light of acceptance. There's no part of you that is left out, no part that is condemned or rejected. Every cell is absorbing this new truth, this new operating principle for your life. You are imperfect, and you are enough. As this truth settles, take a moment to acknowledge your courage. It takes courage to turn away from a lifetime of conditioning. It takes courage to question the harsh voice of the inner critic. It takes courage to choose a new way of being with yourself, a way that is based on kindness and acceptance rather than fear and judgment. You are choosing that new way right now. This is not a passive act. It is a conscious, brave, and life-altering choice. You are actively rewiring your own mind for peace. Acknowledge that. Honor the strength and the willingness it has taken for you to be here, doing this work. You are showing up for yourself in the most profound way possible. Let the feeling of gentle pride in yourself be here. Not an arrogant pride, but a quiet, solid sense of self-respect. You are worthy of your own care. You are worthy of your own kindness. And you are worthy of this deep, abiding peace. This feeling is your natural state. It is not something you have to manufacture. It is what remains when the layers of self-judgment are allowed to fall away. So just rest here now, in the simple, powerful, and healing resonance of this truth. Breathing in, I am imperfect. Breathing out, and I am enough. Let this be the rhythm that carries you toward sleep. A lullaby of profound self-acceptance. A homecoming to the truth of who you have always been. As your entire being rests in the gentle rhythm of imperfect and enough, you are preparing the soil of your mind for a new kind of morning. Sleep is not just a passive state of rest. It is an active time of integration, healing, and deep learning. The conscious, analytical mind steps aside, and the vast, receptive, subconscious mind comes forward. This is the part of you that learns without effort, that absorbs feelings and beliefs and weaves them into the very fabric of your being. Tonight, we are going to consciously and gently plant a seed in this fertile, subconscious soil. We are going to set a gentle intention for the night, an invitation for your deeper mind to carry this feeling of self-acceptance with you as you sleep, and to let it be the very first feeling you greet in the morning. This is not a command or another task you have to get right. It is a soft whisper, a gentle request to the wise, healing intelligence that resides within you. The intention is simple. As you drift closer to sleep, you can hold this thought in your mind. Tonight, as I sleep, my subconscious mind will continue to integrate this feeling of self-acceptance. I am allowing the voice of kindness to become my new default. I am programming my mind to wake with a sense of peace. Feel the ease in this. There is nothing for you to do. You are simply setting a direction for the natural processes of your mind to follow. You are like a gardener who plants a seed and then trusts the soil, the sun, and the rain to do the rest. Your conscious work for the day is done. You are now handing over this beautiful project of self-compassion to the wise gardener of your subconscious. Trust that it knows exactly what to do. Trust that it will nurture this seed of kindness throughout the night. Now, let's give your subconscious mind a clear and beautiful image to work with. I want you to visualize, just for a moment, waking up tomorrow morning. See the scene in your mind's eye. The gentle morning light is filtering into your room. You begin to stir, slowly coming back from the world of dreams. And as you become aware of yourself, what is the very first feeling that greets you? Instead of the usual, automatic lurch of anxiety or the heavy sigh of self-criticism, imagine that the first feeling is a soft, warm sense of peace. A quiet hum of enoughness that is already present before your first conscious thought. It's a feeling of being at home in your own skin, of being safe in your own mind. Then imagine yourself getting out of bed and at some point catching your reflection in a mirror. Perhaps it's the bathroom mirror as you brush your teeth. I want you to see yourself meeting your own gaze. And here too, something is different. Instead of the usual critical scan, noticing the tired eyes, the messy hair, the perceived flaws. Imagine that your gaze is soft, gentle, accepting. There is no judgment. There is just a quiet recognition. There you are. Maybe there's even a flicker of a gentle, compassionate smile. Not a forced one, but a genuine small curve of the lips that says, "I'm on your side. We're in this together." Imagine what it would feel like in your body to look at your own reflection with kindness, the release of tension in your face, the softening in your shoulders, the quiet sense of peace in your heart. You are planting this exact feeling memory in your mind right now, giving your brain a new and beautiful pathway to follow in the morning. This new way of being with yourself doesn't require a dramatic change. It begins with these small, quiet shifts. The first feeling upon waking, the first glance in the mirror. These are the powerful moments that set the tone for the entire day. And you are, right now, pre-paving your morning with the intention of gentleness. You are deciding, on a deep level, that tomorrow will begin differently. It will begin not with a battle, but with a truce. Not with criticism, but with compassion. And now, as you prepare to drift into sleep, we are going to weave this new voice of kindness directly into your dreams. Your dreams are the language of the subconscious, a rich tapestry of images, feelings, and stories. Tonight, we invite the voice of self-acceptance to be the narrator of your dreams. Imagine this kind, gentle voice as a golden thread. As you fall asleep, this golden thread begins to weave itself through all the images and landscapes of your dream world. If a dream becomes challenging or frightening, the golden thread is there, a shimmering line of safety and reassurance, reminding you even in your sleep that you are okay, that you are capable, that you are held. If a dream is joyful, the golden thread is there too, amplifying the feeling of happiness and worthiness. This voice of kindness becomes the soundtrack to your subconscious world, so that every part of your being, from your waking mind to your dreaming soul, becomes more and more familiar with its tone, its cadence, and its message. It is becoming your new home, your new inner environment, a place where you are always, unconditionally, safe and accepted. Let this be your final conscious thought as you let go into sleep. The seed has been planted, the intention has been set, the golden thread is ready to be woven. You have done your part. Now, you can surrender to the process, trusting that the deepest, wisest parts of you are carrying on this healing work while you rest. Sleep well, knowing that you are not just resting your body, but you are actively and beautifully reprogramming your mind for a kinder, more peaceful tomorrow. And now, the time for conscious effort is over. The work is done. You have journeyed so far tonight. You have met the inner critic with awareness, not with battle. You have acknowledged the deep exhaustion and the ache it has caused. You have understood its origins, seeing it not as an enemy, but as an old, misguided protector. You have allowed yourself to feel the hurt, and in doing so, you have honored your own resilience. You have visualized the heavy words dissolving into sand and smoke. You have released the impossible rule of perfection, embracing the beauty of being a work in progress. You have reframed your mistakes as lessons, as proof of your courage to live. You have welcomed in a new, kinder voice, the voice of your own deep wisdom. You have reconnected with your unshakable, inherent worth. You have settled your entire being into the truth that you are imperfect and you are enough. And you have planted the seeds of this acceptance in the fertile ground of your subconscious, setting a beautiful intention for your sleep and for your morning. You have done so much. There's nothing left to figure out. There's nothing left to solve tonight. All the problems, all the worries, all the to-do lists that may still be lingering at the edges of your mind, you can gently place them aside now. Imagine a small, beautiful box next to your bed. One by one, take each worry and place it in the box. The deadline at work, the difficult conversation you need to have, the financial concern, the question about the future. Just place them gently inside. You are not discarding them forever. You are simply setting them down for the night. You can close the lid on the box, knowing they will be there for you in the morning if you need them. And you will greet them in the morning from a place of deep rest, with more clarity, more wisdom, and more resilience. But for now, they are not your concern. Your only concern is rest. Your only task is to surrender. It is time to release your conscious, thinking mind and hand over complete control to your body. Your body is a vessel of profound, ancient wisdom. It knows exactly how to heal. It knows exactly how to rest. It has been doing it your entire life, without any conscious instruction from you. Think about it. You do not need to tell your heart to beat. You do not need to instruct your lungs to breathe. You do not need to command your cells to repair and regenerate. This miraculous, intelligent process happens all on its own, every single night, when you finally get out of the way. Your conscious mind, with all its planning and analyzing, is often the biggest obstacle to this deep, natural healing. Tonight, you are giving your mind permission to take a rest, so your body can do its essential work. Let's begin this process of handing over control by deepening your physical relaxation. Bring your awareness to your feet. Without moving them, just feel them. Feel the weight of them. Imagine all the muscles, bones, and tendons in your feet and ankles completely letting go. Let them be heavy, loose, and limp. Allow a wave of deep relaxation to flow up from your feet into your calves and shins. Feel these strong muscles, which have carried you through the day, finally release all their tension. Let them melt into the mattress. This wave of relaxation continues to flow upward into your knees and your thighs. These are some of the largest muscles in your body, and they can hold a great deal of tension. Just invite them to soften. Invite them to let go. Feel them becoming heavier and heavier, sinking down, completely supported. Now, let this heavy, warm wave of relaxation spread into your hips, your pelvis, and your lower back. This is an area where we hold so much stress, so much bracing against the world. Just let it all go. Imagine the muscles unfurling, releasing their grip. Feel your lower back gently settling into the surface beneath you. The relaxation flows up your spine, vertebra by vertebra, into your mid-back and your upper back. Let your whole back feel like it is spreading out, becoming wider and heavier. And as your back relaxes, your stomach and chest can soften too. Let your belly be soft. Let your breath move easily and freely. Feel your shoulders melting down and away from your ears, releasing the last of the burdens they have been carrying. This wonderful, heavy feeling flows down your arms, through your elbows, into your forearms, your wrists, and your hands. Let your hands be completely at rest. Allow your fingers to curl gently. There is nothing to hold on to, nothing to grasp. Just release. Finally, let this wave of deep relaxation flow up into your neck, your jaw, your face, and your scalp. Let the tiny muscles around your eyes soften. Let your forehead become smooth and wide. Your entire body, from the tips of your toes to the very top of your head, is now sinking into a state of profound rest. Heavy, calm, peaceful. You are safe. You are supported. There's nothing you need to do. Your body knows the way. Just allow it. Surrender to the sweet, heavy pull of gravity. Surrender to the quiet wisdom of your body. Surrender to the deep, healing peace of the night. Sleep is coming to find you. You don't have to go looking for it. Just rest here and let it arrive. And now, everything begins to soften even more. The words become softer now, more spaced out, like gentle waves washing ashore. Each wave comes in and recedes, leaving only peace behind. There is no effort now, no need to follow every word. Just let the sound of my voice be a gentle current, carrying you out into a calm, deep ocean of sleep. You have done enough. You are enough. It is safe to let go now. The space that the inner critic once occupied is now filled with a deep, quiet peace. It feels warm. It feels safe. It feels like coming home. This peace has always been here, waiting for you, underneath the noise. Tonight, you have finally cleared the path. You can rest in this peace. Let it hold you. Let it cradle you as you drift. This is your true nature. This is your birthright. Peace. Feel your body growing heavier and heavier. A pleasant, comfortable weight, sinking down into the mattress. The bed is holding you completely. You don't have to hold on. You can let go of every muscle, every thought, every worry. Just letting go, more and more, with every breath, drifting, floating, on a wave of kindness. A kindness you have extended to yourself. A kindness that is now holding you and carrying you gently towards sleep. The thoughts that may come are like distant clouds on a far horizon. You don't need to pay them any attention. They are not important right now. Your only focus is the feeling of your breath, the gentle rise and the slow fall. Each breath is a wave, washing you further and further from the shore of wakefulness, further and further into the tranquil sea of rest. It feels so good to let go, to surrender to this natural pull. Your body knows what to do. Your mind can finally rest. You have done enough for today, more than enough. You have faced your inner world with courage and with compassion. You have planted seeds of a new beginning. Now is the time for rest, for integration, for the quiet magic of sleep to do its healing work. Trust the process. Trust your body. Trust the night. Everything is unfolding, just as it should. You are safe. You are held. You are drifting peacefully now. The sounds in the room, the sounds from outside, they are all part of the lullaby. They cannot disturb you. They only carry you deeper and deeper into relaxation. Every sound is a signal for you to let go even more, sinking down deeper and deeper into comfort, into stillness, into peace. It is so easy, so natural. Sleep is coming. You can feel it approaching. A soft, welcome blanket about to cover you. You have done enough. You are enough. It is safe to let go now. Let these words be the last anchor for your mind. A final, gentle reassurance. You have permission to completely let go, to drift away, to enter the healing sanctuary of your own deep sleep. There is nothing more to do, nothing more to think about. Only rest, only peace, drifting, floating, letting go. Rest now, deeply, peacefully. You have earned this rest. You deserve this peace sleep well. And so, you drift, a quiet journey into the heart of the night. The work of the day is done. The stories have been told. The lessons have been learned. Now, there is only the vast, silent, and healing darkness. Sleep is a return to the source, a place before thought, before judgment, before the story of who you think you are. It is a nightly dissolution, a sacred letting go that makes way for the renewal of morning. It is an act of profound trust. Trust in your body's wisdom. Trust in the cycle of rest and waking. Trust that you will be remade in the quiet hours, and that you will return to the light, whole and restored. Consider the nature of this journey you are on. Is it not a path of subtraction rather than addition? We spend so much of our lives trying to add things to ourselves. More knowledge, more achievements, more possessions, believing these will make us worthy. But perhaps true peace is found not in adding more, but in gently letting go of what was never truly ours to begin with. Letting go of the harsh voices we inherited. Letting go of the impossible standards we absorbed. Letting go of the belief that our worth is something to be earned. What remains when all of that is stripped away? What is left when the noise quiets down? Only the simple, profound, and undeniable truth of your own being. Quiet, aware, and inherently enough. As you sink into the final stages of letting go, let the transition be seamless. We will count down now from 5 to 1. Each number will be a step deeper into that ocean of peaceful, restorative sleep. 5. Feeling your body completely heavy and relaxed. Every muscle has let go. You are sinking comfortably into the surface beneath you, feeling completely safe and supported. There is nothing to hold on to anymore, just the feeling of deep physical peace. 4. Your breathing is slow and rhythmic. Each breath is a gentle wave, carrying you further out, further away from the shore of the thinking mind. The waves are washing away any remaining thoughts, any last vestiges of the day. All that is left is the gentle, steady rhythm of your own life force, breathing you, effortless, calm. 3. You are drifting now in that peaceful space between wakefulness and sleep. A beautiful, tranquil state where you are open and receptive to the deepest healing. Your mind is quiet. Your heart is at peace. You are ready for the gift of deep, rejuvenating sleep. The door to your subconscious is open, and it is filled with the gentle light of self-acceptance. 2. Almost there now. You can feel the final surrender approaching, a sweet release into the comfort of the unknown, letting go completely, handing yourself over to the care of the night, trusting that you will be held, that you will be healed, that you will be renewed. You are letting go, letting go, letting go completely. Sleep is here, natural and easy, welcoming you like an old, trusted friend. 1. You are asleep now, or so close that the distinction no longer matters. Drifting deep, resting deep, healing deep. Sleep is coming now, natural and easy. Rest well. You deserve this peace.